Hello and welcome to English Lesson 35 or Lesson 1 if this is your first semester with me. This is the second semester of Junior English. So if you need the second semester because you missed out on it in a prior year, or if you're just continuing your junior year with me, welcome back. This is the first lesson. If this is your first lesson with me, I'm going to explain a couple things as we go through. If this is not your first lesson with me, then I recommend logging into class live and not watching this because I'm going to kind of give a complete walkthrough of how these lessons work and what you're seeing on the screen as we go through it. So in the top left-hand corner, you have the title of the lesson, you have the days that the lesson covers for the week, you have the week, and then you have our class structure on the left side. Underneath that, I give you a idea of how long each part of the class is going to take. The class is broken down into three parts: writing, literature, and informational texts, with a speaking journal prompt before that in the voice and choice prompt. On the right side, you can see our calendar for the month. Anything with the red X on it is a day off. So we had MLK Day off this week. On the bottom right-hand corner of the page, you can see a link. That link will take you through to our living syllabus. I'll be updating that living syllabus every time I turn in one of these videos. I will be updating the living syllabus with the lesson, the assignment explanation links from that lesson, and all readings or materials that we use in class. So if you're interested in a quick link through to what work you need to do to pass this class and to see the explanations for all the assignments, that link will do you well for the entirety of this second semester. It'll be a good link to have. All right, so on the second slide for each of the lessons, I'll show you any of the old assignments from the semester. We don't have any right now, so the left side's blank. And I'll show you upcoming assignments and their due dates under upcoming assignments. So for under old assignments, I will have the assignment and its due date. If it's over there on the left side, it means it's in the grade book in Google Classroom and it is either counting for you or against you. If you miss an assignment during NTI, you'll get a 50% on it until you complete it, which is nice. Under upcoming assignments, you can see we do have our first upcoming assignment is due on the 29th. That is the voice and choice assignment where you're going to be recording your voice. If you had me for the first semester and you haven't completed your ThinkCerca benchmark, you can get that done by the 22nd. That's acceptable, but I do need you to complete that ThinkCerca benchmark as soon as possible to get credit for it. If you do it before the 22nd, it will actually count in your first semester gradebook. So if you can do that and hit submit on that for your first semester, you can still get that credit. The 15K extra credit booster is due the 31st. We're going to talk more about that during the lesson, but that's basically the only mastery extra credit that I'm going to give during the semester. So if you're interested in boosting your mastery grade a little bit, I would highly recommend taking a shot at that. All right, so let's take a look at our learning targets. And again, that QR code will take you straight through to any of the assessments, links, explanations, or materials that we have for this semester. It's kind of empty right now because we haven't started reading anything yet, but as we go through the essays and the readings, those will populate in there and you can use that link to get those explanations. All right, so our learning targets for this week are during our writing part of the lesson, we're going to explore the ongoing 15K project templates as potential extra credit writing work in this course. And this means you can write copy for a scholarship agency and get your copy published by that agency. For the literature part of the course, we're going to explore the class structure, norms, and methods for the semester. And this means you can find where your new assignments are, where the lessons, the readings, and explanations will be posted. And then for the informational part of this lesson, we're going to check that you know how to log into your ThinkCerca account so you can complete the ThinkCerca benchmark if you have this class for semester 1. And this means you can earn credit for attempting a new assessment, improve your grade in the course, and learn where your writing skills are at. Our miscellaneous goal for any class that we're in is to use the remaining time in class after the formal lesson and after all of our stuff that we do during the writing, literature, and informational mini lessons. We can use the time afterwards to catch up on any work and potentially work with other students who need help. All right, so let's take a look at what the week structure is like. And again, there's that link if you want to grab it. It's just going to keep popping up. On Mondays and Tuesdays, I'm going to post a recorded lesson like the one you're watching right now. That lesson will be posted before class starts. And if you cannot log into the live class, you can always watch the recorded version and catch up that way. My office hours run from 12 to 2:30 p.m. on Wednesdays. That link will be posted in the Google Classroom as well on those days. And on Thursdays and Fridays, I'm going to have another recorded lesson just like this with the assignment built into it and explanations. So if you're stuck on something, if you need more explanation, if you want to work with somebody live, logging in during those Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Friday classes are good because there's always going to be a little bit of workshop space at the end of class, usually between 20 and 30 minutes. And the office hours are great for that too. So if you're stuck on anything, don't hesitate to come into the live class. And if you can't get into the live class for whatever reason, you can always email me. All right, so our first assignment, this voice and choice assignment, that's due on the 29th. It's the first required assignment. So for Mondays and Tuesdays, I'm going to ask you to respond to a voice prompt. And what that is I'm going to ask you to record your voice using this Vocaroo website and post that in the voice assignment. And your first prompt is, what do you want to see in your classes this semester? So for semester 2, what do you hope to see in your classes? Do you hope to see more engagement? Do you hope to see, less work? Do you hope to see what kind of work do you want to see? What kind of books do you want to read? What sort of things do you not want to see? Just that kind of prompt. So you'll be responding to that with your voice. And the audio can be as long or as short as you like. Really, we're just trying to get more human interaction and voice back into the room because so far it's been a pretty quiet year, and that's real weird. Okay, so for Thursdays and Fridays, you will do choice questions. Mondays and Tuesdays are voice, Thursdays and Fridays are choice. So you will pick one of these 10 prompts to respond to for your Thursday or Friday response. Again, it can be as long or as short a response as you want. Just with your voice, respond to these prompts. So you'll pick only one of them. So let's say you're interested in art. There are 10 different paths for you to choose from, and these are like 10 career paths or interest paths, and my goal is to get people talking about a whole bunch of different stuff on Thursdays and Fridays that tie into your career goals, your passions, your interests, and I'm going to give you different questions each week for each of these 10 different paths. So if you're into visual art, you'll be answering the question, how can an artist create an emotional response? If you're into poetry or language and writing poetry, what words specifically are beautiful to you? If you're into design or business or aviation, you'll be responding to the innovator. If you're into journalism or researching or research writing, you'll be responding to the journalist. If you're into sports or medicine, you'll be responding to the fittest. If you're interested in education or psychology, you'll be responding to the mentor prompts. If you're interested in gaming or game design, you'll be responding to the gamer prompt. If you're into music or music design, I'm going to give you prompts through the musician. If you're pursuing a career in the military, or if you're interested in constitutional law, I'll have some questions for you in Old Glory. And if you're interested in writing for the page, the stage, or the radio, who's writing radio shows? I guess podcasts. If you're interested in long form writing, you'll be responding to the author prompt. So on Thursdays and Fridays, you'll record your response to a prompt that fits you. And on Mondays and Tuesdays, you'll record a voice response to the first one. And that will be more of a prompt that I give to the entire class. And usually it will have something to do with what we're reading that week, and that one will be more tied directly to what we're going to talk about in class. All right, so for our writing lesson today, let's talk a little bit more about this 15K project templates that you can potentially get some extra credit on for this course. And again, this is the only extra credit for mastery that will be given in this course, so it's a good opportunity to jump in there and get some credit in the part of the grade book that's usually a little bit more sacred and not as loose as the progress. All right, so the templates are in Google Classroom. What I'm looking for is for you to use one or more of the templates to write copy for this group, 15,000 Degrees. They're a scholarship group in Louisville. The copy needs to reflect the branding document. That first document, the 15K Degrees creative branding document, has all the language that you will need to put together your copy, to write your tweets, to write your Facebook posts, to write your Instagram posts, to write an audio or radio ad spot if you're interested in doing that. So this is an extra credit assignment. It's open to anyone in any of my classes who would like to write real world copy for a company. They could absolutely use your help, and it's a good exercise if you're interested in going into business or design. Um, it's you will actually be used. Your words might be used in a advertising campaign by 15K, which is really cool. So it's just kind of a really neat opportunity for you to get real world experience and add to your resume that you wrote copy for a scholarship group that actually gives scholarships. And that extra credit booster is due the 31st of January if you're interested in pursuing that. The ThinkCerca benchmark again is due by Friday the 22nd. Knock it out. Log in on ThinkCerca. Use your Google login to get that. And the voice and choice assignment, the first one, is due next Friday the 29th. All right, so for our literature learning target, we're going to talk for a minute about our class structure, norms, and the methods for the semester. And this means you're going to be able to find where new assignments, lessons, readings, and explanations will be posted. So this link, again, that I've talked about a couple times as we've been going on, this is the link to the new living syllabus. As we add new assignments, as we go through and I add explanations to how to complete those assignments, as we read materials as a class, as we do discussions, those will all pop up in that document as links. So you can go to Google Classroom and navigate the Google Classroom classwork tab to find everything you need to do, or you can go to this document and it's all in there and it's all color coded right there too. So this document is a really good way to know exactly what you need to do to get the grade you want to have in this class for the entirety of semester 2. So this is a really good document to hold on to. As for the lesson structure, like the lesson we're into right now, they're going to be broken down into 3 parts. There'll be a writing lesson, which is going to be tied to the 2 essays we'll be completing this semester. There's going to be a literature lesson, which is usually going to be tied to excerpts from different texts, as well as a poetry unit. And the aim of all the work we do in that literature mini lessons will be preparing for the ACT reading. So as we're working in literature, we're prepping for that ACT reading test. So if I give extra credit in literature, it's really targeted at giving you some of the skills you'll need to pass the ACT reading test. We don't 100% know what the ACT is going to look like this year, but I 100% know what the ACT does look like in general. I've taught juniors for a long time, and these lit lessons are aimed at the kinds of questions you're going to have on the reading ACT. For your informational lessons, we're going to be reading historical and nonfiction texts, as well as having some grammar instruction lessons. All of that's aimed at the English part of the ACT. There's 2 different parts of that test that this class is aimed at, so we're going to be working towards the reading and the English and literature informational. The writing portion of this class is aimed 100% at those 2 big essays that we'll be working on in parts. All right, so our gradebook structure, progress is 50% of your grade and mastery is 50% of your grade. The progress assignments are usually between 10 and 30 minutes long. They're small. They're usually tied to weekly goals or readings. The mastery assignments are due every 2 weeks. They're assignments that lead to the completion of your 2 essays for the most part. There's going to be very little else in the mastery grade in this class. And they're usually going to take between 30 and 60 minutes to complete. So for the mastery assignments, those are the steps between outline, rough draft, peer review, and then your final draft for essay number 3 and number 4 in this class. Also, important note, if an assignment has the word graded in front of it in Google Classroom, it will be graded and count against you in the gradebook if you do not do it. If an assignment has extra credit in front of it in Google Classroom, it will not count against you if you do not do it because it's extra credit. Any assignment with the word graded in front of it is a high priority assignment. Any assignment with the words extra credit in front of it is something that will help you prepare for the ACT, but is less high priority than the graded assignments. Effectively, there are 2 different modes for passing this class. You can pass this class by doing all of the graded assignments and none of the extra credit. And that is an easier class than doing the extra credit assignments as well. Why am I doing it that way? Because there's a 100-year pandemic, and my expectations for engagement in this class are lower than they'd be if we were in person. It's just the way it is. Now, If you don't do any of the extra credit assignments, you're missing out on a lot of good ACT prep. So it's important to kind of balance your goals for passing the ACT with your needs for, the ease of passing this class. So there's kind of like two different difficulty levels for this class. All right, reminder, voice and choice is due on the 29th, next Friday. Get that ThinkCerca done by this Friday, and your 15K extra credit booster is due by the 31st. Speaking of ThinkCerca, quick reminder on how to log into your ThinkCerca account to complete the benchmark if you had me for semester 1. You can still earn that credit before Friday, the 22nd. I need you to try and knock it out before then, though. The way to do that is log into your ThinkCerca account, just thinkcerca.com, and then log in using your Google login. And you should see my class from the fall semester and be able to complete that assessment. I extended the due date to the 22nd, so you should still be able to do that if you haven't yet. That's the whole informational lesson. All right, so our learning targets today were to talk about the 15K project. Baby screaming in the background. Literature was to explore the class structure, norms, and methods. Our informational goal was to just talk for a second about a reminder to complete your ThinkCerca benchmark if you haven't done that yet. Go ahead and do that. All right, that's all I got. All the assignments done. Upcoming assignments 3. Only one of those is a graded assignment that is due for the second semester. ThinkCerca will help you on your first semester if you didn't do it. If you can still grab that before Friday. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.